Hi everyone, and welcome to my Trema Comics YouTube channel, a space where we talk, discuss, reveal, and explore everything about Trema Comics created by me. Yes, me. Who is me? Well, I don't know. I am just me, a nobody. Or she will unpack a little bit about that me and who is the me. Right, I am Commander R. Mutombo, or you can just call me KR Mutombo if you prefer, like the JK Rowling type, in order to make it a bit stylish for the most iconic author. But well, just to keep it simple, or just being a little honest about it, keep it simple, you can just call me Commander. Yes. Difficult? I doubt so. So Commander. Yes. Anyway, I'm a comic artist, character designer, and a storyteller who has already published my first comic currently available. First of all, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to check out my content. If you came across this video, I believe you are part of the comic culture, curious, passionate, and always ready to discover a new world. Trema may be known by none, or by only a few, but why not many? Well, because you and everyone else watching at this point of time will eventually help me take it there. So I do plead your support as I embark in this journey to be discovered. Right? Let's go talk about what is this content all about. Let's get into it. Today I'll be introducing the main cast of Trema Comics, the core characters who will carry the story forward. Just like, the Tuteuf with Manu, Hugo, Francois, Jean-Claude, or when you go to the Narutoverse with Sasuke, Sakura, Rock Lee, Shikamaru, Tenten, or when you go to One Piece, you got Luffy, Nami, Sanji, Chopper, Zoro, or the Dragon Ball Z main crew, if I might as well just be clear. Trema will also feature many important characters depending on the story arc, but the ones we are focusing on today are the central cast. I'll be introducing them and touching a bit of their personalities without spoiling their story. But before we talk characters, we must talk Trema itself. So what is Trema? Trema is an ancient sacred book, according to the comic, that has existed for centuries. No one knows who wrote it. In modern society, it is preserved within the powerful religious cult that has built a social laws around it. The greatest one being this: no one is allowed to open or read the book. Anyone who does is said to be eternally cursed. Only priests are permitted to open it during sacred services. But only one boy, our main character, begins to question everything. Why can't we read it? Why does everyone obey without knowing? Driven by curiosity, he dares to seek the truth, crossing paths with strange, enigmatic figures who guide him on a surreal journey towards opening the book and uncovering what lies within. That's the story in brief. That's the summary in brief. That's the synopsis in brief. That's the theme in brief. So now that we got a clue, we got a glimpse, we got an idea, we got an insight of what Trema is all about, we cannot just leave it like that. It's all plain. We need something to add on to it. We need tangible or resourceful or substantial things as well to make the story worth living. For example, the world of where it's all happening. Is it like real or just fictional? I have decided to make it a lot of fictional, but it is important as well. A story needs a world, otherwise characters will be just floating in space. So I created a geographical map showing where each main character originates from. The world is divided into 5 continents. Ethiopia at the center, the largest, cousin on top or in the north, Golan, in the east, Lai to the south, Mare to the west. There are also islands but we'll focus on the main continent for now. Let's begin with Thupia, and let's just unpack a lot about the characters that are in Thupia. Here we are, Thupia characters. Let's talk it out, right? So the first character from Thupia, we got Cam, our main character, an artist, a dreamer who suffered from intense night terror. Instead of fearing them, he illustrates them. Trying to understand why his dreams cut off before revealing the truth. Short-tempered in terms of, personality, but polite, brave, and impulsive. He hates being controlled and often rushes into danger without even thinking. Crazy. Vale, that's Cam's little brother and also best friend, like close friend, or just, well, how can I put it? It's like best friend brother, or like brother best friend. Well, Vale is very charismatic, cautious, and security minded. Wow, he prefers safety over risk, but is inspired by Cam's courage and follows him almost everywhere as long as survival is still an option. Wow, type of thing. Klanda, that's Cam and Vale's cousin. Right? Okay, like his cousin to both of them. Well, Klanda is like a very energetic type of person, fascinated by the strange and bizarre. His personality can feel complex and sometimes annoying, even while awkward at the time, but is loyal and goes wherever Cam goes. Well, not much to say about them. Like just little things. Let's keep it simple, right? Then you got Michi. Michi appears later in the story, so it's like all of them will not appear in the same arc, right? I'm just telling, like, hey, these are the main cast, but not in the same arc will they appear. Okay, so Michi, well, usually people call them Midge. Quite serious, always wearing glasses he rarely removes. He hardly laughs or speaks, and people often think he's trying too hard to look cool. But is there more beneath the surface? Well, we're gonna find out in the story. Right, now we move to the cousin, continent. We're gonna talk about the cousin characters. So, like, the first one that we have is Nage. Nage is a joyful person, like a brilliant. That person is smart. That's a nerd, but not really, like, it's just a complex nerd. That nerd that is not really close to themselves, like nonchalant or something like that, or even just a bit shy or whatever, or maybe just feel a little off the connection of the people of a certain group. He's extremely social, helpful to a fault, sometimes even overly involved. But, well, Nage is a humble and calm person. It will become Cam his closest friend in the series. Now we got Marion. We got Marianne or Marion. Yeah, you gotta read it however you want. When when the time comes for them to be displayed, whatever the volume might be, when the comics is out, or volume 2 or volume 3, or either just volume 1, y'all are going to decide how to pronounce the name. I just say Marianne or Marianne or Marianne. So Marianne, that's a very sweet, she's like that sweet. Marianne is sweet but fiery. She's a character with a strong will, easily annoyed, takes things very personally. Like, she takes things very personally, but seeks inner peace through discipline, even if chaos follows her. So she hardly, she fails to do that. So but I think in time can become someone like she finds calm around. So we're gonna know why. But she is very difficult to deal with and always short-tempered. Let me just break it down like that. Yeah. And then you got Patricia, Jade, and Elena. Like, the three of them are basically siblings. I think when I'm gonna, advance further with volumes and chapters and things like that, I think they will come in terms of the three of them. They will just come, the three of them. So let me just be very brief. We're talking about them. Patricia, actually, she's outspoken, expressive, but brutally honest leader type. Jake is cheerful, always trying to escape his sister's authorities. Elena, that's actually Patricia's backup. Together, they keep Jack in check, creating constant it's just a constant comedic tension. And the three of them, it's almost like Jack is just trying to find a way to break out of that loop that is finding within that, or that is found himself with his sisters, who always want to keep him under their control, something like that, right? So we cannot say much about them. We're gonna find out more when they part as well, into a certain arc, when they are ready to be displayed in the comic, will eventually happen. Now let's go with Mayor characters. Mayor characters, the candidate Mayor. Yeah, there are as well beautiful characters in there. First of all, we're talking about JJ. Yeah, that's JJ. We're not gonna say much. We're not saying much. We're just giving few teas as well, few tips or sneak peek for them as well. More when we introduce them in the comics, and you will know their stories and yeah, they got beautiful stories as well that follows them. So JJ is very calm. She's a calm person. She's just nonchalant, book loving, and peace seeking. Princess, on the other hand, that's JJ's little sister. She's shy, romantic, but she loves compliments all the time. She just loves compliments all the time. Then she dreams, she's just dreaming of an ideal love. I think an unexistent ideal love, almost like the listing type of dude that you would love to find, even though it seems a little bit unrealistic or something like that. She's the type. Yeah, cool characters. I'm just so happy that I've managed to draw it well, because I was really struggling to draw out completely. Yeah. So you move from there, and then you go with Bobby. Bobby's just fun, natural, easygoing. Later becomes close friends with Michi. Yeah. Lucinda. I'm writing names sometimes that I can't read. Am I reading that well? I think, yeah. Short for Cindy. I think she's called Cindy. Yeah. In the comics, some characters sometimes I'm forgetting it as well, like specific details about them. I just don't forget the names, just the way to rate them. Some cracks my head. Right. That one, she's the cold type, but she's fair. She's friendly with limits. Right. A deeper layers unfold later in the comics. Yeah, that's what I can say. So don't really have a lot to say about her. These are the things that we're going to process when we are dealing with character development. Yeah. Then we go to Lai. Do we have a lot to say about characters of Lai, or we just have to be a little brief depending on who? Here we present the person under the name of Tommy. Yeah, Tommy. Let me just catch my breath before talking about him. Let me just swallow. Oh no, let me just drink to this. Tommy is a trouble. Is a pure trouble. What if a trouble was a person? Yes, that's him. He's short, loud. He's so smart, very clever, brilliant, but he's just provocative. It's very provocative, and it's also egocentric. Loves trolling, debating, mocking, and never backing down, even when dude is wrong. Right? Yeah, that's tough. It's just and hard to offend. You just can't offend him. He is things where you're trying to make him feel bad about himself, and it just never works. But when let me just say, until he strikes back. If he strikes back, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it to the core of your soul. It doesn't. It's just almost like a soulless person. Yeah, it brings chaotic warmth. It's just everything about him is just very chaotic to the group, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say about him. It's just a very cool character. It's gonna be fun to see, but it's just that one, and he's so short. He's the shortest in the group of the main cast. Tommy is heavily influences Jack. like it's just gonna have a lot of influence to Jack or something like that, to the degree where it's just gonna be like problems with Patricia, although like they're all cool friends or something like that. Yeah, but that's kind of heavily influenced to Jack. It's like his match off to Patricia is like it's gonna get into Patricia's disapproval or something like that. Yeah, I think I'm just making sense. Okay, like I said, I was stuttering simply just because when it comes to Tommy, I don't know how am I going to pin out that kind of troublesome type of person he is, to the degree we might as well just touch the readers or our watchers when it turned into an anime, right? Here we are. Now we go to Golan, right? Golan characters, yes, and I think that we're reaching the last. Right, so yeah, we went to the 5 of them. The 5 continents. That these are Golan continent, and the characters from Golan. Right now, Golan is divided into 2. Right, you got the middle Golan, and you got the East Golan. And it's just like middle and East. Wow, we're gonna find out more in the comic. But let me just be a little brief about them. Like I don't really have a lot to say about them. You got Cavan. Cavan is a noble person. Like he's a noble, calm, reserved, peaceful man. There's not really much to say about him, but I think behind the calmness, noble, reserved type of person is hidden such a cool story about him. Just gonna end up like just discovering. Yeah, I hope like my comics really touches people's soul. Let's get with the other one. So this one you got like Lee Chow. I think it's Lee Chow or Lee. I was like when I was, because this I created a long time ago. These are the characters I was saying Lee Xian, but I think it's like Lee Chow. Let me just Lee Chow, right? So Lee Chow, like she's endlessly curious, if I may say, like a little about her. Endlessly curious, love meeting different people and asking tons of questions. Yeah, endless question driven by her desire to understand the wider world. So just a little thing that I can say about her, but all of them will have like something special about them, about their stories as well, that will make Trema a living piece of art in that kind of sense. And there you have it, the 60 main cast character of Trema. Like I said, they won't all appear at once or within the same arc, like I said it earlier, but they form the foundation of the story's journey. Like this is the all series or movies or have a specific group of characters that are always the main one, right? These are the ones like Naruto, One Piece, or anything that has to do with that. But there's just one important thing that I was about to forget, and this is just something that I have to really specify that these characters are not new. They're not new. Like I've carried them with me for nearly 30 years, and I'm only bringing them now to life. Right, so if you're curious about the journey, my documentary is linked at the top of this video to know more about how I got to take them out of the closet only 30 years later. Yeah. As we wrap up, you can check out my debut comic on Amazon, visit my website, well, the links will be below in the description, or find it now available at Bridge Book stores. Man, we are getting more stores. We are going in more stores. It's going to be a banger. Trust me. So be with me in my journey. Yes, Bridge Book as well. And I would also like just to let you know, man, you gotta explore and grab your copy before Volume 1 is officially releases later, this year. Yeah, since we're working on it. Yeah, so I really invite you just to try with the 01, the debut, the first one, before Volume 1 is set to be released. Right? This year's gonna be a banger. So I think I'm done with it. And what I'm just gonna close with something. Thank you for tuning in and for your patience. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to follow the world of Trema. Instagram and Facebook links are also below if you'd like to support my art further. Thank you again. I'll see you next time for more Trema comic exploration.